What is up, everybody? I know it's been a minute since I've posted a tackle video or a tips video or anything, but today we are going to talk about, as y'all can see, I've got the Apex Tackle hat on, Apex Tackle Flip and Jig. This is called The Jig by Apex Tackle Company. Just check them out online and on social media and everything. They are an awesome company that helps me out on the road fishing and stuff. They have some awesome products. They have some of the best prices on tungsten weights that you can find. But their main thing I feel like is their jigs. They make an awesome flipping jig, football jigs, kayak type jigs, versatile jigs, little juicy tiny, finesse jigs. They make a little bit of everything. But this jig right here, was created and devised by Chad Deaver and Andy Newcomb. They are excellent fishermen, both phenomenal at fishing, top of the level that they can fish at. And Andy Newcomb, he is actually an MLF Toyota Series champion angler of the year. So he knows how to make some stuff. Chad Deaver is an excellent all-around fisherman. They fish a lot of jig fishing type lakes, Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri and places like that. But Andy Newcomb, if y'all didn't see in the Bass Open on Lake of the Ozarks, he had a very, very good finish, and it was all on this jig right here. So let's open this out of the package, and I'll show y'all a little bit and tell y'all why this jig is so good. This right here, this is just a 3/8 flipping jig. If y'all can see that, it is blue and green. This is just, not exactly sure what the color is on this one, but it's more of kind of like an Okeechobee crawl type color. This, you can see, perfect line tie and weed guard right there. The line tie goes into the head just a little bit, so it protects your line, from getting knocked and bumped and stuff on rocks and docks and, pylons and things like that. An awesome strong hook right here. I've skipped these hooks around. You cannot bend these hooks. I love skipping jigs and skipping docks. When you're skipping this jig and you hit a dock pylon, it will not bend your hook up. It will not bend your hook straight. It will not bend your hook and fold it in where you cannot get a bite or catch a fish. Second best thing on this is the weed guard. I've had some really bad problems with weed guards being way too stiff and way too light. I like one that's right in the middle, not super stiff where you can't ever hook the fish, where you don't have to set the hook, like you're snatching a 14-pounder out of a piece of brush, but you still have to set it fairly decent, but you're not going to get snagged up on everything. This jig, you can see I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it, and this jig is perfect right on the hook. You want that weed guard to be right on the hook where you don't have a ton of room that you have to, if it's way out here, then you have to set that hook and it's still got to go, ½ inch or so. This, if it goes 1/8 of an inch, you've got that fish hooked. My favorite and number one tip, why this jig is the best. You can see those colors just amazing in that sunlight right there. I know it makes for a little bit worse picture, but the colors of that jig, you can see it in the sunlight, excellent. I mean, that is just fish candy right there. The reason this jig is the best, and I promise you, this is one of the least thought about things I feel like on any jig, hand-tied skirt. The hand-tied skirt is number one. If you're like me, you don't buy jigs all the time. You don't retie, up with a brand new jig every single time you go out fishing. I'm on a budget, everybody else is. I'm not a professional fisherman yet, so I use this jig all the time. I can put it in the water, let it dry out, put it back in the box. You don't have to worry about a rubber or silicone type band around the jig, skirt breaking, or dry rotting, or getting sun damage, dry rotting. I know rubber bands, they dry rot, they will break and the skirt will fall off. But when you have a hand tied skirt like this one with like string or yarn or some type of material that holds up forever, you're never going to have to worry about that jig falling off. So this jig is going to be good as long as you don't break it off. If you break it off, unless you want to go swimming, then this jig will last you forever. You can buy 3 or 4 of these jigs and it'll last you for 3 or 4 months. That's what's awesome about these things right here. But y'all go check this out. This is the Apex Tackle The Jig by Andy Newcomb and Chad Deaver. Awesome anglers, awesome fishermen. They know how to build a jig. Go check it out. It is excellent. It is top of the line. Not very well known yet, but it is top of the line. It's not like some of these other companies like, Strike King and things like that that just make any type of jig. They send out any type of jig. These people put the testing in, put the work in, and they build the best materials. They use the best materials they can to build the best lures and jigs they can. That's it. Hope y'all have an awesome afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. But as always, chase your dreams.